Hey PhotoBee students, this is Miss Taylor, and today I'm going to show you how to create a double exposure effect in Photoshop. So I'm starting off with two photos, one of a person that I'm going to change into a silhouette. You definitely don't need to use a person for this. You can use an inanimate object, something from nature, um, anything will really work. And then you're going to need a background or something for that double exposure to come through of your silhouetted image. Now I picked blue sky with birds, but I really don't want my silhouette to be blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to a sepia tone. And how I do that is I just go up to Image Adjustments, Black and White. And then I'm going to add an adjustments layer. Go to Photo Filter, and I'm going to turn it to sepia, increasing the density a little bit. I just want something less colorful and a different mood. Then what I need to do is I need to flatten this because I don't want that adjustment layer to follow into my silhouetted layer later on. Okay. And then if you want, you can turn your silhouetted layer into black and white. It's kind of up to you. Maybe try different versions to see which one you like best. But I'm going to start off with black and white. So the first thing that I need to do is get rid of this white right here. So I'm going to do that by using my quick selection tool. And it's not doing a great job because there's very little contrast between the right side of her face and the background. So I'm just going to hold down my Alt key. I'm going to increase the size of my brush a little bit and then just move that line back out to where you want it. And turn my brush down really small and get those eyelashes. Now, in order to delete, oops, I forgot a space here. In order to delete that white background, we need to turn the background layer into just a regular layer. Right now it's a lock layer. So you could just simply drag that lock and throw it in the garbage can, and then you'll be able to hit delete on your keyboard and see those that checkerboard. Now, if you had a background here that was difficult to decipher between your silhouetted layer, what you could do is go up to Select. And I know that you can't see Select up there because my screencast gets cut off, but just go up to Select and then Refine Edge. Turn on your Smart Radius, and then what you could do is just take your brush and let your computer find the edge of her face, and it can clean up that layer for you, just like that. Okay. Alright, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a white layer underneath here, and it seems redundant because it's going to look the exact same as what I had it, but I'm separating out basically that silhouetted layer. So I'm going to create that new layer, put it underneath. Let's label her Jade. And then we're going to fill that layer with white. So Edit, Fill, White. Okay, and now you'll notice Jade is on a different layer than the white layer there. Okay, at this point I'm ready to go ahead and bring in my sky layer. And I'm going to go to my Move tool. And I'm going to hold down Shift, so when I plop it on top of this layer here, it'll perfectly center. Okay, and as you can see, it sandwiched between those layers, so I want to just go ahead and move that on top of there. And now what I want to do is I want to load the Jade layer, meaning that I want the selection of Jade to go right around the edges. Okay, and a really quick way to do that is to hold down your Command key and click on this thumbnail here, and that's called loading a selection. Okay, but I still want to be on the sky layer. Let's go ahead and label this sky. And while it is on the sky layer and I have a loaded Jade selection, I'm going to click on the layer mask. And now you can start to see the silhouette of jade. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to duplicate the jade layer, and I'm going to put it right on top of the sky layer. A quick way to do that is Command J, move her on top, just like that, and then I want to hit Command L and bring my blacks a little bit closer to her, in front of her face. That's just going to give me a lot more contrast there. And then I'm going to change the blending mode, which is right here in this bar here, and change that to screen. Okay, now you're going to really start to see that come through. Alright, now if you wanted to, you could add a black and white layer to that. It's totally up to you. The options are endless. I would play around with levels, your black and white adjustment layer. The final thing that I'm actually going to do though is add a gradient map, and I'm going to find that again in my adjustments layer. It's right here at the bottom. And I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to double click on this bar here, and there's a couple numbers and letters that I'm going to add to this first stopper here. So I'm going to click on that. And right here I can customize a color, and in this case it's going to be kind of a light beige. So I'm going to hit E, 2D, 9D, 1. There it is. And then I'm going to double click on this stopper here, and this is going to be more of a dull mid-tone beige, and I'm going to change the color to 52463B. And you can go ahead and pause your screen here. I'm sorry, I forgot to pause it for the other one, but just pause it and then go ahead and type in those numbers. And then click OK. Okay, now it's looking a little strange here. So the last thing we need to do is to go to our blending mode again, and we're going to scroll all the way down to color. And there you have your double exposed photograph. And I could turn this link off if I wanted, and I could go ahead and adjust, where I wanted. So if I wanted to move, the birds over, I could do that. I could also increase the size or decrease the size. It's up to you. It just kind of depends on where you want those birds. You want to position them so it looks, not like it's going in her nose or on her eye. You could certainly play around with covering up some of those birds. Okay. So just remember to turn off that link if you want to do that. And the last thing you want to do is go ahead and save it, put it in your artistic journal, and you're all done.